Exodus chapter 12, not only did God give them instructions for that night, but then he said, now this is going to become a continual yearly thing that you're going to do to remember what I did in passing over you with my judgment. And first of all, he said, you're to select the lamb on the 10th day of the month. Well, you know what Jesus did on the 10th of the month, the year he was crucified? He rode into Jerusalem on a donkey. Unknowingly, they are selecting their Passover lamb. And interestingly enough, the reason there were so many people in Jerusalem that day is they were there to select their Passover lamb. There were probably lambs everywhere. Wow. People had just bought their lamb that they're going to use at the Passover. The instruction was they were to take it home until the 14th of the month. And it's implied they were to inspect it to make, because it does mention they're supposed to make sure it's pure. So we read of Jesus going into Jerusalem on Matthew 21. In Matthew 22, that's that chapter where they kind of line up the scribes, the Pharisees, the lawyers, throwing all this stuff at him, you know. And they bring him the night before he's crucified before the Jewish council and Caiaphas, and they're quizzing him, and they can't find anything that's really going to stick.
They find no fault.
They find no fault. They take him before Pilate. Pilate sends him to Herod. Herod sends him back to Pilate. They're all inspecting him. And at the end of all of it, a government official, Pilate, brings him before the people and says this, I find no fault in him.
3 days of examination.
And the end result is he's pure. I find no fault in him. Then they were told, you are to kill the Passover lamb at twilight on the 14th of the month. Twilight began at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, which was also called the 9th hour. And we read in the Gospels, especially in the book of Luke, we read, and darkness fell upon the land from the 6th hour until the 9th. 3 p.m. in the afternoon, the beginning of twilight, at the moment Passover lambs were to be killed, he breathed his last breath, and he said, it is finished. And he gave up his spirit and died. At the very moment that Passover lambs were to be killed all throughout the land.